is up, Niner gang? I want to have everybody give my special guest a warm welcome, man. If you guys don't know who this is, I'm sure you guys already do. This is Rich Keltz from Keltz Chronicles, man. So everybody, round of applause, please. I can't even talk today, but I want to thank him, man, because really I was gonna come on by myself today, and spur of the moment, I was like, you know what? Why don't I just try and get a co-host on today, man? So he agreed to do it, and I really appreciate it, man. So how you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well, my man. Good stuff for the invite. It's kind of dope how we were able to figure out doing the co-stream. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, man, that's cool. It's going off of my channel, your channel. This is dope. Happy Thanksgiving. We see everybody in the chat. I'm sure we're gonna get to all y'all.
Uh,
Faithful, rise up, yee! Let's get it, man.
yeah, I bet we're catching everybody off guard coming out of left field, but hey, it's badass, man. I love it, dude. And first and foremost, man, give both of our channels a like, man. Whichever stream you guys are watching on, please go like and subscribe. Turn on the bell notifications for all notifications so you see every time we go live, guys. I appreciate you guys being here, man. But we got a 49ers victory, man, yesterday, 38-10. Can I get your initial thoughts on that, Rich?
Man, bro, man, I was just juiced up all the way around. I mean, we could talk about almost every player on the 49ers in a positive way, and when you're able to do that, um, you know something good happened. I mean, it was Mexico, Monday night, prime time in front of the world. Shanahan was in his bag. It's just everything came together. No injuries, disciplined football. I know there's a couple things I could probably nitpick on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, hey man, we've been waiting for this for a while. You know, I can't remember the last time we were able to see our starters be able to sit on the bench with their baseball caps on. So man, it's just hey
Hey,
man,
man.
what a way to kick off the Thanksgiving week, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you know,
Yeah.
uh, just the whole total package of everything that happened was just dope, man. So,
Straight up.
that's my initial takeaway from it.
Hell yeah, man. I love it. Like you're saying, man, it's like so many good things that we saw come out of this game, out of just all around the whole team. And like when it gets to the point where Kyle Shanahan's in the locker room and he's talking about it to the team post game, he's like, hey, man, every asset of the game was fantastic, and ends up giving the game ball to the dad of the owner, to
Yeah.
Dr. York, man. So I guess that's a telltale sign that Kyle Shanahan didn't give the ball to some of the players. But yeah, man, we're getting into the holidays, man, and the 49ers are bringing us gifts already. Speaking of the
Hey,
holidays, man, I love it. This is 49er time. It's a consistent trend that we're starting to see. It seems like second half of the season, the 49ers are starting to ramp things up season in and season out. Last year's a great indication of what we're talking about. You got any thoughts on that, bro?
man, it just feels like it feels like Kyle Shanahan is always talking about every season is different and every game is different, and he's right. And so I feel like a lot of what Shanahan does, he's always experimenting. He's never gonna, I would love to see a firm foundation and that's it. But that's not realistic. The game's always evolving, everything is always shifting. Stuff is gonna unexpectedly happen, whether it's injury, whatever it is. He always wants to catch people off guard. So I just feel like this is part of Shanahan's MO is always evolving. It can cause discipline issues, philosophy issues, get us fans all riled up and doubting them and flipping out and wanting more and all this stuff. But I feel like this is part of what he does. Of course, he wanted to start off faster. We didn't start off as bad as last year, but I feel like this is just part of it. It's just every season has its own story. So it feels like we're turning the corner to where it's like go time. We're gonna find that identity and I feel like stick to it and ride it out, um as long as injury doesn't happen. And I've always been on Shanahan like, man, how are we in year 6, bro? And we're always searching for identity. How are we
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro, get it together. Like, what are we doing? But then I kind of get it now. I think part of his philosophy is for us to not get it, is for us to not understand, is for us to, and that's so I'm just kind of taking a step back on like, hey, man, they're never going to do it the way exactly how I want it to be done. So I got to
Yeah.
take a step back, enjoy the ride. And I'm sure at some point in time, I'm sure before the season is done with, I might, be completely just against something, and I'll be screaming about it at some point. But for this week, man, hey, it's victory, full blown victory on all sides. So, hey, man, I think we're gonna continue to see us just going in the right direction, no matter who the opponent. If we don't beat ourselves, we got the team and the roster to compete with anybody. I know people are like, "Hey, pump
Yeah.
the brakes. Hold on a minute, man. We got the Dolphins. We got such and such." Like, hey, I get it. Hey, y'all can pump the brakes if you want, but I'm gonna choose to be like, "Hey, man, man, we are Super Bowl contenders. We're coming to take it. We're coming to own it. It's been long enough. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but we see what Jimmy does in the playoffs. Hey, we ain't there yet. Pump the brakes. Remember, pump the brakes."
Yeah.
It's a hey man, this is what it is to be a fanatic, man. We're fans. We're fans, man. Everybody is a fan their way. So I'm never gonna expect anybody to do it the way I do it. And vice versa. Hopefully it's vice versa. So that's kind of how I see it so far.
Definitely, bro, man. You know what? Like, I forget what I was gonna say initially, but dude, you're right though. Like, just the transformation and like every season, I know some females don't understand it, but this is like the for a lot of guys, this is our version of a lifelong movie. Nonstop, bro. It's just nonstop, especially with the 49ers. They create great content for us, man. It's always a ride, man. It's up and down roller coaster, and got to take the good with the good and the bad with the bad sometimes, and the vice versa. But it does get tough in there sometimes. But man, I like the way the 49ers are looking, and you're right. We're gonna have to face some of these more difficult teams like the Dolphins, and that's gonna be a good kind of measuring stick to where we're gonna be looking at going forward. So looking forward to seeing that game, but I want to see a dub against the Saints first. I love what we did, and I want to bask in the glory of what we did against the Cardinals. So I want to continue to talk about that, man, because like you said too, let's just enjoy it, right? Is part of it. Let's just enjoy it. Why not? I think we can't tear too many things down. Let the team continue to ride with confidence because that's
Oh,
part of it. If they just consistently hear people tearing them down, no matter how good they do, it just adds for a negative mindset all around in a toxic environment, which I've seen from a lot of 49er fans, man.
hey,
So yeah,
hey, there's plenty of toxicity
yeah,
and hate to spread, man, throughout the whole world, man, whether it's in politics or now, we see it everywhere, man. We got our own content creators going to war with each other sometimes. And it's like,
yeah,
what are we doing here? Hey, I understand it if I understand because hey, man, there were times earlier in the season where I'm like, freaking fire Shanahan and people, oh my God, what would you do if it's like, hold on a minute. Hey, I almost don't literally mean it. I just want to see him do better. You know what I'm saying? But it's
yeah,
like, so, but when things are going well, man, hey, man, I'm gonna be stupid optimistic. I'm gonna be that. Hey, man, hey, I've talked so much crap about Jimmy Garoppolo, probably rightfully so. I will never give an
yeah,
apology, but I will cheer for him. I'm gonna cheer. Hey, I'm not. Look, I'm a huge Trey Lance supporter. That's how I started my thing. Everybody pretty
yeah,
much knows. Hey man, I was draft Trey Lance, get rid of Garoppolo, yada yada. That's not how it happened. Garoppolo's still on the team. I'm a cheer for Garoppolo, and I can't wait to see Trey Lance. You know,
yep,
I feel like people come to a point in time to where this has to be right and this has to be wrong. It's like that's not the way I rock. That's not the way I believe. I believe it could all be true if you want it to be. It just depends on
yeah,
the person, the perception. And man, I see a gang of people up in there. I just want to acknowledge. I just love to acknowledge the folks in the chat Because I remember when I was up in the chat, and I used to get super juiced up just when someone would put my comment up. I want to say, what's up, Cowboy Angel? Iron sharpens iron. That is that good old Proverbs 27:17. So I appreciate that to the fullest.
I
We
didn't
got,
know that. I didn't
hey,
know that.
hey, that's where it originated from, man. Good old Proverbs, you know. Yeah, man. So who used to say it a lot? Is that John Lynch that says it? I know that there's quite a few guys who use it, but you know, I came straight from the good book, man. We
Yeah.
got Damian Lee in the house says, "Happy Thanksgiving, Niner fam." We got Raphael always coming through, says awesome, and some other stuff. I'm pretty sure, you know, he came through and said like and subscribe. I'm just rolling through everything real quick. We got Brian Culp in the house, David McNew. Who else we got? We got Damian Lee, Niner Sickness Podcast. Go sub to Niner Sickness Podcast if you
Yeah.
guys have not already,
100%.
because he's the man.
And a couple of the guys in here too, I'm gonna try and get them like a segment, kind of like we're doing right here, like do a weekly segment with them at least once or twice a week, to where because I know they want to start channels at some point and they can kind of get off the ground with that. And I know most of the community here is already familiar with them, and they had to get kind of familiar with me. And these guys lent out their hand to help me out. So gonna do that in return for sure, man. Man, I love all these guys in here.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Hey, you know, a lot of people who know me, man, 2 years ago, I barely even had a Facebook, and I basically used it to throw up pictures of my family and sometimes preach. You know, sometimes if there was a serious matter, but man, I was rarely excuse me, I was rarely social, you know,
Mhm.
technology-wise, and so I had no idea any of this existed, and
Right.
I do not take it for granted that we're able. Hey, man, you're in Arizona, I'm in California, we're able to hop on this thing and get to chop it up with so many faithful, worldwide, and I don't take it for granted, man, for sure, so I appreciate, all that stuff you were saying.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Everybody that's here right now, we appreciate you guys, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I want to get your thoughts real quick. I don't know if you want to keep going, but
No,
on
yeah.
Trey Lance, man, how are you feeling about seeing Trey Lance walking around, man? Because I myself too, I was ready to get see. Okay, here's how I feel about it. In a perfect world, I would love to have both quarterbacks. I understand the logistics of it, and that's probably not what's going to happen, especially with the way Garoppolo is playing right now.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be one or the other. Um, but like I said, I was a big Trey guy, and so I'm super stoked to see him the way he's walking around on his own accord. But I'm not saying bench Jimmy. I just want to see Trey Lance get back in the groove of things with practicing and getting some reps in case, knock on wood, anything were to happen, or at least
Yeah.
to benefit himself for next year. So how do you feel about seeing him walking around now?
Oh, I love it, man. I love it, man. It's just, it is a very, very tough thing. It's and the 49ers created this, and, you know, kinda good thing that they did create it. It's like, God, man, what a story, man. It's like, who knows? It's like you're never gonna know what woulda, coulda, shoulda because it just isn't. So, you know, part of me is like, man, I wonder what it would have looked like if it was only Trey there. Would they have ran him like that?
Hmm.
I wonder what it would look like if Jimmy wasn't here.
I
And
wondered that same exact thing.
I'm sure we all did at some point in time. But now, fast forward into the moment,
Hmm.
it's kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers have given us a reason to have doubts when it matters most. You know, that's just reality. When it matters
Yeah,
in the playoffs,
yeah,
you know, part of me is like, hey, man, Jimmy could really pull it off. And then part of me is like, man, you know, we might see the same old crap when playoff time come around. So then I'm kind of
yeah.
like, hey, man, we got Trey Lance. You know, hey, how amazing of a story would it be if freaking Trey Lance, for whatever reason, got put in? You know, some people are like, got put into the fire. Oh my God, you need to wait until he's 1002% healthy. It's like, hold on a minute. It's like, if your bone, hey man, I broke my hand 3 times. And when that bone is healed, it is freaking healed. There's no, I know And it doesn't take long to get the feeling back, like in your muscles and your arm. Like, yeah, when the cast came off, my arm was a little weaker and whatever, but it didn't take long playing football. So it's a tough thing, man. To be honest, I just want to see us not beat ourselves. Like I'll be okay. I'll be okay if we lose in the playoffs and we come just close again. If I know we gave it our best shot, man. And if it was a better team that beat us, it wasn't penalties, it wasn't discipline, it wasn't stupid calls. I don't care. To be honest, yeah, man, I want to see Trey do it. Like, that's just me. I'll say, like, absolutely, I want to see Trey Lance do it. But whoever the quarterback is, if we're able to pull it off, hey, I'm rocking with it like to the fullest. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to keep it a buck on that one when it comes to Trey. Yeah. But hey, if Jimmy pulls it off, man, there's going to be a gang of more controversy. Could you imagine that, bro? What's going to happen if and I know we're talking about Super Bowls, and I haven't even looked at the chat because sometimes I want to just stay focused. But I know some people trip out on when you start talking about Super Bowls. When 2-3 weeks ago we just got beat down by the Kansas City Chiefs, but we have one of the best teams in the NFL. And if you don't see that and believe that, then that's you. That's you, man. Right now we're one of the hottest teams. We're 3 straight victories. We got a stacked roster. Everything is trending in the right direction with the coach, the chemistry, the injuries. So, I don't care how we get it done. I just hope we get it freaking done. It's been 28 years? 28 years, man. So I know we're all itching to see it, man. And the way the faithful ride, hey, it's about time. It's about time.
Definitely. I would love to see it for Garoppolo, it being probably his last year here. And curious to see if he does win the Super Bowl and he does great in the playoffs, because like you said, we still have to see it when it counts. And Garoppolo's notorious for falling off in the playoffs and being basically not in attendance.
Yeah.
So we got to see it when it counts. But I love what I'm seeing right now. So I'm going to bask in the glory of right now. Hopefully we go to the Super Bowl. But I want to get to this comment over here from David McNew, man, because he just will not come out of his shell with Jimmy G. All he ever says is Jimmy Garoppolo just doesn't make as long as he doesn't make the mistakes. It's like, dude, this guy is winning us the games with his arms, man. And I understand the playmakers that he has in getting the ball to, but just the execution that he's having, 4 touchdowns and no interceptions, bro. 3 games straight. If you would have told everybody that he had no interceptions in this game, and the 49ers won, would you have thought that he would have thrown 4 touchdowns and no interceptions? I don't think anybody would have called that, really.
I think a lot of fans are looking at like, hey man, there's 30 quarterbacks in the NFL that could throw that slant. You know what I'm saying? There's a ton of quarterbacks who can make the throws that he made. So I think a lot of fans are looking at it like, hey, was Garoppolo the one that got him open right there? Did Garoppolo throw that guy open? Did he throw that back shoulder fade? Did he just really, was he the one that really did it? Or was that the scheming up of Kyle? Or was that the playmaking of or the route running of Ayuk, or the depending on CMC coming out the backfield? So I think, but then that's when we got to factor in, hey man, there's 53 men on the squad. So it's like, it's so hard with the football team because each play has so many moving pieces. Sometimes I might seem contradictory, but really I'm looking at every single side. I'm looking at, and a lot of it is true. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you know what McNew is saying and this and that and the other, it's like almost what everybody is saying is true for the most part. And, more than one things could be true. So that's when I think sometimes conflict and debate and arguments and all those things, people like to have fun with it. We get a rise out of it and it's exciting and whatnot. So, yeah, man, I still don't think, Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think he'll ever be elite. He's playing phenomenal for him. for that's just the way I see it. I just think he's just doing, he's doing great for his capabilities. So hey, that's all I can ask for. No
Yeah.
mistakes. He's getting the job done. I hope it continues.
Yeah, man, it's really weird too because it's like, what do you attribute it to? Is it because he's in a contract year? Is Brian Greasy having the magic touch with him? Like, what the hell is going on? What's that movie, the baseball movie where kid breaks his arm?
Rookie of the year.
Right? Yeah, that one. And he's
Uh,
like a,
Henry. Oh God, how do you say their last name? Rowan Gardner or something like that.
I don't know, but he
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
little kid and he
That's Henry.
pitching in the major leagues
Yeah, yeah.
after he broke his arm because he had an elastic arm after that. I don't know if that's what happened to Garoppolo after that surgery. I don't know if Brian Greasy has the magic touch because this dude had no offseason. And so I don't know what to attribute this coming out of his shell that he's been in for the past couple of years. I don't know what the hell's going on. He might even be looking better than 2017 at this point, man. 3 games, no interceptions, and just executing. And one of the things that I've talked about, and I want to point out something real quick because you brought up a great point, and like how much of it is the weapons that we have, and that's definitely we got to give a lot of credit to those guys too. It's the whole team all around. Garoppolo is the right guy for the team right now, I think, as long as Trey Lance is down, right? But Arizona is 32nd in, so they're last in the league in yards after catch allowed. And so I thought this was a great way, a great opportunity for the 49ers to attack a team like this that allows so much yak. And sure enough, we saw it because a lot of these that the plays that Jimmy made, these guys still had to break a couple tackles and make it into the end zone, in which they did. They made guys miss and broke a couple tackles. So that plays into it as well. But them working as a team, I love it, dude. And I've been saying, man, really since the beginning of the season, but I've been emphasizing it really this last week and the week before that. Um, I think I've said it since after the Broncos game that the 49ers, what I'm seeing from them, they're going to have to open up the run game through the pass game. And we saw it in this game. And a few people thought I was crazy. I know, like I'm gonna take it with the territory. Like, hey, dude, I know I sound crazy. We don't want to put too much on Garoppolo's plate, but dude, it's too obvious. These teams know we're running. They're stacking the box on first down, so we need to start passing more on first down. Sure enough, we saw it. I was like, I couldn't believe my eyes, man. Can I get some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I think what, as you were talking about, like, what is this attributed to? Jimmy Garoppolo doing what he's doing, and as you were talking, I think I came up with a couple of answers, and it's just thoughts, it's just opinions.
Mhm.
But I think there's no, three things. There's three things, and I'm shooting from the hip on this. So this is a rough draft, but I think our defense is better this year than last year. When you add a Mooney Ward, just even that piece, just a Mooney Ward, just a Lenore in year two, just even though Thomas isn't playing a lot, Thomas is in year two. Hufunga is in year two. Hufunga is obviously an upgrade over Tart. Just look at the stats, look at the eye test. So when your defense is playing better, your offense is going to get more opportunity. Your
Right.
offense is it's a team game, right? So that's my first thing is the defense is better than last year. I
Working
think
in
Brian
tandem.
Greasy, might be better than God, what's his name? I'm glad I forgot it, but Rich
Scangarello.
Scangrello. Yeah, the one that was
Yeah.
probably putting all that bull crap out there about our man Trey Lance because he's a
Yeah.
weirdo. But
Yeah.
anyways, I don't know him personally, so I won't go too far. Who knows? Maybe, hey, Rich, maybe you're not a weirdo, but
Yeah, I
it's
think
it sure
I,
freaking seemed like it. But I feel like it's Brian Greasy, um, the defense, and then also I know people might call me a little crazy, but I'm thinking how many games. All right, we know Mike McGlinchey has some horrible lowlights, but I feel like maybe our offensive line as a unit could possibly be playing better than the first half of last year. I might have to go do some research to see if that's a far-fetched idea, But I think our offensive line has done a hell of a job, man. This, specifically the Brendel, the Banks, and the Burford, for them, they're basically rookies. I know Brendel has been in the league and whatnot, and Banks, this is his second year. But those three guys as a unit, they're kind of like rookies. And then, of course, we got the Silverback, we got McGlinchey. But, if you take away some of those, if you take, you got the four fires with the Hey, now I see it. I like that one, Randy.
Hell yeah.
Hey, we got the yees lit up, fired up, man. Let's go. Man, but I think, if you take away McGlinchey's boneheaded little pirouettes and some of the dumb stuff he does, I mean, he's not garbage. You know what I'm saying? I know you look at a couple of highlights. Oh my God, this dude's garbage. I've said it before. Maybe not the garbage word, but hey, get it together, Mike. But the other 40 plays, he's probably doing a damn decent job. You know what I'm saying? So I think it could be the O-line, quarterback coach, and the defense. And if you are a little bit upgraded, it goes a long way. I mean, this is a game of inches. You know what I'm saying? Just one false move can be a 10-point swing, a 14-point swing.
One fingernail on the ball will deflect it.
Hey, one interception in the end zone that would have been 7 for you if it's a pick 6, that's a 14-point swing. So if that one mistake matters, then I'm sure a little bit of positivity from a Brian Greasy Brian Greasy got a gang of, his dad, was the guy compared Trey Lance to, who broke his ankle, came back 77 days later. And, everybody could go do the research on that 72 Dolphin team, because there's a lot of similarities. You know what I'm saying? First, Grant Cohn pointed it out in the beginning of the year before Trey Lance's injury. Grant Cohn came out and said, hey, this Niner team's reminding me of the 72 Dolphins with the style of play, the way he assumed we were going to be a run-heavy team. Yeah. And what else? There was a couple of points he made. The defense, a run-heavy. And sure enough, a couple of weeks into the year, it's even more reminiscent, because Brian Greasy broke his ankle week 5 of the 72 season. And he came back in 11 weeks. Don Shula put him in the AFC Championship game at halftime. So it's pretty, and I know back then they had a lot of guts. There wasn't a lot of PFFs and analytics to scare you out of doing certain things. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's 50 years. It's a much different game. But I do want to let the viewers know, the ones that do stress out and do worry, on, oh my God, that'll put Trey in the fire. Like, would he be ready? Hey, look, Bob Greasy came back, dislocated and broke his ankle. Literally came back 77 days to the day. And he won the Super Bowl, won Super Bowl next year. I know he was already a great quarterback. I'm not making that comparison with Bob Greasy and Trey Lance. But the comparison I am making is the health of his ankle. He went on to play 8 more healthy seasons, consecutive healthy seasons. I think he only missed a few games in the next 8 years in an absolute brutal era. I mean, he's playing versus the Steel Curtain, Deacon Jones. I mean, dudes that are body slamming folks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like in today's world, it's, we all know it. It's gotten a little soft. That's the best word, because I was trying to think of a nice word, and that's the best way. The world's gotten soft, man. It just has. And there's good things that come from it. And when it comes to football, there's bad things that come from it. I have daughters and stuff. So, there are ways where the softness is good. You know what I'm saying? But in football, it's like, I'm just letting y'all know that it has been done before very successfully. So sometimes analytics or the sports science people that think you have to be 2,200% healthy, it's not always the case. Every person is different. Every story is different. If they play it safe, they play it safe. Hey, if they get gutsy, hey, look, they were gutsy with the way they ran Trey in the beginning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like, hey, stick with being gutsy. Just don't run him, as much in between 300 pounders. Make it to where he could run outside. make it to where you get him in space where he can choose to protect himself, or he can make the choice. Hey, am I going to run inside? You get him outside the numbers. You give him that option. Hey, do I want to run out of bounds, or do I want to try to pick up some more? But when you're running like that, he don't got a choice. And if someone is like, well, he needs to learn how to fall. Well, I mean, I don't know if you've played football before, because sometimes when it's happening that quick, you know what I'm saying, and you got a big boy, dropping down on you, that there ain't nothing you could do.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I want to go back to something you were talking about earlier, but I'm going to get to Jaguayo's comment here real quick. Maybe
Yeah.
Shanahan is able to identify the weaknesses of our opponents and game plans to take advantage of them. And I think it's becoming not just that, but understanding the transition our team is taking. Adding CMC and acclimating the offense, like getting Brandon Ayuk more involved and stuff like that, right? And then of course the shock that this coaching staff that is here now wasn't here last year with Garoppolo for the most part. Most
Mhm.
of those guys went to Miami. So Rich Scangarello, I believe, is one of those guys that's in Miami now, actually, speaking of quarterback coaches. So we got to kind of take some of that stuff into consideration. I had said it before. I hope the bye week was a time where the 49ers could reflect, and now the coaches can get together, put their heads together, and understand how to put a better offense together for Jimmy Garoppolo, man. So that's part of it. So I agree with you, Jaguayo, and I want to add a little bit on top of it. But outside of that, man, what you were talking about, Rich, with the defense, and I understand, like, we talk about a lot about the offense, and um, offense gets a lot of shine, and it's like the reason I wrote it down was because I know we're not talking about defense so much. It's because I think we understood what we had in defense, and all year it's kind of been, can the offense catch up to what the defense is doing? Because the defense is doing their job. They're shutting teams out, and the 49ers just aren't scoring points. So now we're seeing the 49ers start to score points, and they're working in tandem with the defense. So I think that's one of the great things we can look at and point to why we're talking about the offense so much. It's like, okay, thank you. We're starting to see it. The roses are blossoming and stuff like that,
Let's
man. So
go. Hey,
I love
yes.
it, dude. Yeah. So, got to give the defense their flowers. We love what they're doing, man. Um, God, I just love it overall. The D line is doing pretty damn good. We got Kevin Givens a sack. Haven't seen that guy pop up on a sack in a while. So that was
Fred,
pretty cool.
who was it? Fred Warner got a sack. Just going off the top of my head, obviously, shoot, Nick Bosa, he got what, 10 and a half now? He's top, you know, top two in every statistical category. Hey, NFL, please don't do our man Nick Bosa dirty again. I know he's got to finish the season strong, but if you hear me, NFL, man, y'all done did this man dirty a few times, man. Nick Bosa, all pro, without a
Yeah.
doubt. Like, let's go, man. Give that man his flowers.
Stop
Luke,
doing them dirty, man.
like, let's go. Come on with the East Coast bias. We got Luke the Don in the house. Says, Kels, what's the business, brother? Keep up the great work. Good stuff, my man, for coming through. Hope all is well. Yee. Real talk.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, the defense is doing great, man. Glad to see the 49ers offense finally catching back up. Um, do you have any standouts on defense that you want to talk about?
Hey, I've been saying the past. I think as soon as Jimmy Ward got his cast off, I've been kind of rooting for him. Like, all right,
Mm,
man, I haven't seen you get a pick. I was super hard on the Niners secondary the past couple years, like a lot of us probably were. I mean, I was pulling up every kind of stat you could think of. I actually went back to the last 27 Super Bowl winning teams. Every single team had a Pro Bowl player on the Super Bowl winning team. Like if you go 27 years back, and a lot of them had Hall of Famers, whether it was Bob Sanders or Atwater, Troy Polamalu. Like you just go through the last 27 years, there was a Pro Bowl player, whether a safety or cornerback, except for four teams. And those four teams, they had a Pro Bowler the year before or the year after. So it's like so that told me it's almost 27 out of 27 that there was a Pro Bowler in the secondary on every NFL winning Super Bowl team. So I'm kind of like, hey, the secondary might get a bad rap as far as, oh, the game is won in the trenches, 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 trenches. That's it. Hey, the research I did, hey, when it fits your narrative, it's easy to find the stat you want to find. But, to add on to that, there's also Pro Bowlers. It's almost like there's a Pro Bowler on every Super Bowl winning team at every level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, so that made me kind of like, all right, man, we need a Pro Bowl type player in the secondary. And hey, man, Hufanga has been that guy for us, but I've been really rooting for Jamie Ward, Kavarius Ward. I've been waiting for that game where the both Wards get an interception. It didn't
Right.
happen. It
Right.
didn't happen. So I'm going to say the standout just because of the interception was Jimmy Ward, even though I know I could go a lot of different directions. Womack pulled one out at the end. That was dope. I'm always rooting for that underdog type of person or dude
Yeah.
to pull something out that we might not think of. And so that was cool. Hey, he's been killing it on special teams as well. But yeah, man, as long as we can keep creating turnovers, and man, because we got dogs on every level of our team.
Hell yeah.
So we're going to play hard. We're going to play fast. We're going to hit you in the mouth on both sides of the ball. Old school football, which, I know a lot of us appreciate. They were talking about it last night saying, it's kind of a dying breed. The 49ers are one of those teams where, a lot of people like us, but people really
Yeah.
like football because we still bring that element. I know it
Yeah.
costs us sometimes with injury, but
Mhm.
yeah, so to get back on the question, I know I'll be going on and on. I'm
Nah,
gonna s
bro. This is
I'm
how I
gonna
like to do it. Go off rip, bro.
hey, man,
Whatever comes
hey,
natural.
it's Hufanga and Ward, man. If I absolutely, had to pick, like, who I think played the best, I feel like Fred Warner was flying around, man. I feel like he'll be flying around in games and sometimes
Yeah.
won't get recognized if you don't see the sacks, if you don't see, oh, he wasn't leading in tackles again, just because sometimes it don't pop up on the stats, but that don't mean that man ain't giving it his all and flying around. So, man, it's just it was
He's
it, it,
getting
it was a total team defense
yeah.
and offense, bro. I'm having visions of watching Jake Brendel run down the field when Debo ran it in. It's just it was a dope game, bro. There was a lot of celebrations for me. Just I know it started slow, but
Yeah.
yeah, man, it was dope.
Yeah, I was that guy in the sports bar that I was trying to get everything loud and rowdy, man, because I'm in Cardinals territory. So I was surrounded as it was, and I was like, guys, we're in a sports bar, man. Let's act like it. We're not in a damn fine dining area. So I was like, I started screaming and stuff like that just to kind of get everybody going, and then started hearing a little bit of the cheering. I was like, where these Cardinals fans come from? But
That's
dude,
what's up, man.
Womack is balling out, man. Like I love what I'm seeing from Womack. Even though he's not getting that starting role, he's earning it on special teams, right? We saw last year. I know people here on my channel know that I've said this before. Hafunga, a lot of people asked why he didn't play more last year. They specifically asked Kyle Shanahan about it. He's like, "Yeah, that's a guy we probably should have played him more
Yep.
last year because he's a damn baller, bro." And so I think Womack, they're kind of going to start to see that stuff from him too, man. And we're already seeing it with he had two back-to-back almost interceptions. One of them went right through his hands. Should have
Pick
had that one,
six.
that pick six, that, and
Yeah.
then gets an interception the very next play, man. So great to see that from him. But just pinning teams back on like the 2 yard line on special teams as well, making great hits, great tackles in the special teams aspect, man. I love what I'm seeing from Womack, and I saw exactly what I was what I was expecting. Everybody heard me say it here on this channel that the 49ers, they've been playing a lot of zone, a lot of conservative coverage. They'll let a lot of the stuff underneath go. So people were worried about D Hop, DeAndre Hopkins, and I was like, guys, the 49ers are probably going to let him get his underneath catches. Anything over the top, they're going to shut it down for the most part. So I feel pretty good, and that's sure enough what happened. They gave him all his catches mostly underneath, um, a couple mid range, but outside of that, they kind of shut the Cardinals down. And I said they're gonna let the Cardinals march down the field. And the Cardinals are like 19th in red zone offense, I believe it is. And so once they get there, that's where the 49ers are going to close that gap and stop them and force them to either kick field goals or go 3-and-out. So exactly what I was expecting, man. And it's just like, I want to give more love to the defense, but it's like they're just doing what I expect from them. So I love it. And I want to give them
Absolutely.
more flowers.
I know. Hey, man, it's Thanksgiving, man. So it's gonna be love. Hey, we're all gonna be eating well, man. I know we're all gonna be. Most of us will be with our families. Whoever plays on Thursday and whatnot. But man, I did want to hop back into the chat because I almost
Yep.
forgot this is a joint stream. So
Yeah.
I encourage any of my viewers, man, if you guys are not already subscribed to my man Niner Gang Wolfcast. I'm pretty sure it's just as it's spelled right there.
Yeah.
So even if you leave my channel, I don't know if the links are in the description or whatnot. So hey, man, like I said, I know sometimes it's forgotten or whatever. So even if you leave my channel for a minute, it's all good, man. Hey, show some love to my man Wolf, Niner Gang Wolfcast. Go sub to this man. He just hit 200, so I want to say congratulations on that. I remember how juiced up I was when I hit 200, and I like to just remain humble, man, and if I ever were to get too big headed, I hope to God I never will. It hasn't happened in 36 years. So I think I could be good. But if I did, someone knock me upside my head and bring me back down to earth.
I love it, man.
I just want to say what's up to my man Tile Rob. He says, Keltz, what up? Yee, what's going on, my man? Good stuff for coming through, like always, real talk. And then I think that's the only other person. We got Jaguayo already. Yeah, this must be one of your guys right here.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess that. I'll just say Amore. What up, Amore? How you doing?
Yep. Yeah, I was going to bring that back up. But I just want to say real quick, man, because I appreciate that. And I said it at the beginning of the channel, you guys, if you guys got to take time, like Rich was saying, and this is Rich Keltz from Keltz Chronicles, guys. Go check out Keltz Chronicles. That's Keltz with a K. Let me see. You don't have it on the display name, huh?
I think I might be. Could I switch it?
But Rich and then Keltz. But it's on his logo.
There we
Keltz Chronicles, guys. Go check him out. He's really cool. Love having him on the show. He's a really cool, chill guy, man. So you guys go check him out if you haven't already, man. Dope stuff over there. But yeah, getting back to this comment with Burnham Moore real quick. I want a rematch with KC, and I kind of want the same thing, man, especially because if it's going to happen at any point, it's going to be in the Super Bowl, of course, right? Yeah. So, getting revenge for not just the ass whooping we took earlier in the season, I definitely think it would be a different matchup if we were to match up against the Chiefs today. Maybe the 49ers close the gap and maybe still lose, but the 49ers are doing better. The defense is acclimated better to losing Mosley because that was in very recent future from when we had lost Mosley. And so the defense was still kind of getting their feet back under them. D'Amico Ryan's still getting a feel for what he wants to do at nickel and outside corner after that gruesome injury, man. So very different matchup, I think, would happen between the 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So I would like to get a revenge game in the Super Bowl. That'd be pretty dope. Do you got any thoughts on that?
Yeah, man, I want to face the best and I want to beat the best. I want to make it, in a perfect world, and sometimes I even pump the brakes on myself. I want, you know what I'm saying? But it would be nice to see, man, us play the best team and them play a great game and us just be better to where it just left no question, no excuses. It wasn't no kind of flukiness or it wasn't the refs like, hey, I always want to face the best, beat the best. And hopefully we get that opportunity, man. Hopefully, whoever's the hottest. Hey, man, the NFL is so wild this year, and I know it always is, but it just feels like there's an extra little element this year where it's just up for grabs. There isn't no dominant Tom Brady and Patriots. There isn't no – it just feels like it's all kind of up for the taking, and I feel like, it almost gives me the feeling of like those New York Giant teams, the 2007 and 2011 New York Giants, where they weren't that great at teams. And then they just got hot at the end and just rode it all the way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like whoever, it's always the H's, whoever's the healthiest, hottest, and hungriest at the end, I think is going to pull it off. And feels like we're trending in that direction. I'm just there's a lot of games left though. So that's a little, hopefully, hey man, if we can ride this whole I see us losing a couple more. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't be surprised, man, if we run the damn table, man. It would be beautiful.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely beautiful.
I wouldn't be surprised if, because I could see us losing to maybe Miami. Outside of that, I don't see anything else. I could see a close game with the Commanders because of
Yeah.
Heineke, man. And Ron
Yeah.
Rivera is a good coach. I don't understand why they ever went away from Taylor Heineke after last year. He did pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And
I've
kind
been
of
saying
same
this.
thing.
I've been saying the same thing, bro. So I'm right there with
Yeah.
you with the Heineken.
Never understood that for them, but when you're the 49ers, you kind of hope other teams don't make the best decisions. But yeah, man, so I could see the Commanders being a tough game. Dolphins, outside of that, I know everybody wants to talk about the Seahawks being a tough game. We whooped their ass last time. I think is going to happen again. Maybe a little
Same.
bit of a closer score, but I think we're going to put a clinic on them and kind of catch the league off guard and show them like, hey, you guys think this is a good team? We're going to mollywop them and roll into the playoffs with some momentum, unless we have a specific spot clinched already and we play our backups
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it is
Yep.
week 18. So there is that aspect to it. But I want to get to this comment from Jaguayo again, coming in with the clutch comments. Brendel's blocking on Debo's touchdown was freaking awesome. I didn't notice that one specifically, man, but like we're saying,
Yeah.
the O line is doing really good. And Jake Brendel himself, he was taking some shots in the beginning of the season, man. And who knows, the difference in quarterback, how much of a role that played in it. But ever since the criticism we started with him in the beginning of the season, he seems like he's been getting better and better. We haven't seen those mistakes anymore. Knock on wood. Hopefully we don't see any more. But yeah, he's been doing really good, man. I love what I'm seeing from him. The O line as a whole, for the most part, better than I anticipated before the season. At the beginning of the season, I thought maybe Garoppolo would be the better quarterback for this O line just because of his quick release. And like you're talking about, they're kind of becoming a better unit too. And I did notice a play where the Cardinals were rushing five, and because of Garoppolo's quick release, he kind of saved the play with the quick out route to get the first down to George Kittle, with George Kittle having a defender draped on his back. So it kind of works in tandem there too. I think Garoppolo being the quarterback kind of helps the O line, but it's kind of give and take with Trey Lance too. He would have added some crucial parts to it too that would have helped. But go ahead.
Yeah, man. I'll get to the comment, but you did make me think of something too that we haven't talked about. But hey, I absolutely seen Brendel out there on the Debo touchdown. First it was Trent Williams, then it's Brendel, and man, you just got them all pulling, man. I think it was Juice was out there, so that's that. That's that. I don't know. That reminds me of when I used to listen to, because I try to watch as much history as I can in NFL, but I would listen to Vince Lombardi just talk about running sweeps with the Packers in the 60s and just the way he would explain it. It's just that old school when you get everybody rolling out there, man. So yeah, we seen it, or I seen it, Jaguar, for sure. But another thing, I think that could be going a little underrated. Maybe that's also helping the offensive line. I know some people didn't like it at first, but Burford and Brunskill, switching, they've been doing it for a while now. They've been kind of rotating.
Yeah.
And I think that's another one of those experiments from Kyle Shanahan that seems like it's working. It just does. I'm okay with Brunskill. I'm okay with Burford. And it feels like it's working, man. I don't know. I was curious if we would see a rotation before the season started in the secondary. So I'm glad that they're like kind of experimenting on other things. Like, it's, hey, if other teams start seeing something like that working, hey, start doing the offensive rotation series to series to keep guys fresh. Maybe you're limiting mistakes. Maybe in between those series, they're having, Burford's able to learn some things, catch on to, yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of positives that could come from it if there isn't an absolute dominant Trent Williams, You know what I'm saying? If the
Yeah,
guys are
yeah,
pretty similar in style and production, then why not? So I think yeah, this offensive line, they're doing amazing, man. No sacks. No sacks again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, go ahead, bro.
I saw Burford go to the locker room. I never saw him come back, so I got to check the status on him. Um, and then I think Brunskill finished out the game
Yeah.
towards the end of the second half. But
Hopefully it was
yeah.
just altitude. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, because he looked like he was good. He was walking on his own accord and everything. So I think he'll be all right. Hopefully, it's just that. I said, man, get the dude some oxygen. Some of these other guys too. I was like, Debo, you need to start eating some more bananas, bro. Get that potassium in. But I don't want to mention any names. But maybe we should start doing what you're talking about at right tackle.
Hey. You know, because you had my brain stirring on, hey, what were the things that helped Jimmy Garoppolo, this year opposed to last year? You
Yeah,
know, we had Tom Compton wasn't horrible, but there were a lot more games where we had Brunskill, Tom Compton, and McKivitz all trading and taking turns. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, yeah,
me personally, it looks like Burford, McGlinchey, and Brunskill, those three are better than those other three. I know it's still Brunskill there, but I feel like McGlinchey and Burford are probably better than Compton and McKivitz. So that's gonna help.
yeah.
That's gonna
I feel you, man. And I'm curious to see what happened because Jason Poe's supposed to be another promising guy. So when he touches the field, man,
yeah
I'm ready to
turn
see what's up with him.
turn him into a tight end fullback.
Into that Aaron Banks.
Yeah, or a
um,
DJ Jones. Hey, who knows? He might be legit on the little defensive little nose tackle or something like that. You never know, man. With them smaller dudes.
could get him in special teams and do like some Jordan Willis type stuff
Uh,
with that block punt, man. But Jaguayo says, gotta give big props to Charles Omenihu, man. Yeah, definitely. He was the guy that deflected the game-winning touchdown last week. That's great. But just all these guys, man, Samson Ebicom, Charles Omenihu, we get Jordan Willis back, Kevin Givens stepping up now too. I didn't notice really any Drake Jackson going on. So we'll see when he shows up again. But yeah, all those guys, man. Charles Omenihu's been great, especially while Ebicom's kind of been on the bench with the injury, so love it, dude. The D line as a whole, the rotation they got going on is great for the D line as a whole because they could keep that rotation going. Raul 5629er says like and subscribe everybody. Yeah, please to both channels, Keltz Chronicles, Niner Gang Wolfcast. Take a
yeah.
minute if you got to. You see any comments you want to get to? If not,
I haven't even. Yeah, it's a new little thing I've been doing whenever like I'm talking to someone. I won't even have it. I'll have it just me and you for a while just to stay focused. I don't even want
yeah,
to peek. I don't even but I do. I love to elaborate on the chat, man. Like I said earlier, man, it used to make me feel like I was I was doing things, man, when someone would throw up my comment, man, so where am I at? Tile Rob. We got
right.
Tile Rob says, I think I heard Jimmy hasn't had a turnover in 3 games. Unbelievable. Hey, he finally did it. I feel
Yeah,
almost bad for cheering for that, but hey, man, he did something he hasn't been able to do. So part of me is like, man,
yeah, dude, it's crazy.
am I going to get to the standard of cheering for no interceptions? Like, hey, you know what? For Garoppolo, just do it, Rich. Give the man his flowers. Hey, great job, Jimmy.
And that was one of the reasons I like seeing Brock Purdy come in at the end too, was not only to keep everybody healthy, but it's like, okay, Garoppolo did his job. He got 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Let's keep that streak going, just so he can continue to keep that confidence, man. You don't want to see him get too tight with it, so hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully he doesn't get too conservative and just focus on that streak. But just for him, for kind of like a trophy for himself, I did it. I got
Yeah,
past it. That monkey's off my back. Now let's go get it.
absolutely. I'm gonna just get into a couple of these comments where we at.
Let me get into this one real quick because
No problem.
so on my channel, the way I do it, this is the way that I have these guys help me sift through the comments. I tell them, hey, can you guys throw the 4 flames in your comment or your question, just so I know that comment or question is for me, And so I saw this one from Brian Colt. Yeah, so I don't have to sift through the whole thing. It's just real quick. Yeah, it helps me a lot. Um, Especially when you're tired after work. Jeez. But Brian Culp says, Wolf and Rich, who do you want as a rematch in KC or Baltimore? I think we have a great shot against either. I think KC is in everyone's head. I want to see Baltimore. You know what? That's another revenge game. That's true with the Baltimore Ravens, that Super Bowl with Colin Kaepernick. I would rather whoop on the Chiefs,
Same.
but because I think the easier game would be against the Ravens. I think they're a little more one dimensional. And
It's
so I
it's
think
just more fresh too. It's more fresh with Kansas City, you know what I'm saying? And then we
100%.
also have the tie of we didn't draft Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it just
Yeah.
for me personally, yeah, I would love to stomp out Kansas City.
Yeah. Beat him, man.
Yeah.
Beat Patrick Mahomes. I'll talk about it while you sift through whatever the comments you wanted to go through real quick.
I just wanted to hit up Jaguayo real
Okay.
quick.
Sorry. My bad.
No,
I
you're
was
good.
clicking that one off.
Jaguayo says, hoping all our servicemen and faithful have a great service. Yeah, I read that right. Have a great and blessed Thanksgiving. And right back at you, Jaguayo. Right back at you, man. Hopefully you and the family are blessed to the fullest, my man. We got Cowboy. Excuse
Uh-oh.
We got, man, I'm hoping I'm not, man. Two of my daughters, man, got the flu right now. I'm hoping and praying and
Yeah,
wishing.
bro. Drink some tea, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got Cowboy Elijah back now. Hey, we did not get to see Elijah. You know, a little bit of us, some of us were worried, like, you know, did something kind of happen last week? You know, but I think that was Kyle. That was Kyle once again. Was like, hey, I know what this altitude is, and I'm gonna come and pound him in the second half, and we're gonna beat the brakes off. We are going to make the Cardinals surrender to our will, you know,
Yeah.
by scheming it up. I'm not playing. Like, you know, I feel like this
Yeah.
was that game where Kyle took this as a business move with Mexico. We probably gained thousands of fans. You know, Mexico's going to remember the time the Niners came to Mexico City and mollywopped the Cardinals. It was amazing. You know, we might not have another game in Mexico for a while. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for us, it's easy to forget this game and go on to the next week. They might remember this. There might be some kids out there that might remember this for a long time. So Kyle kept his foot on the gas. Elijah is back. A lot of guys, hey, we might be having Eric Armstead coming back real soon. We got David Villa in the house. I haven't seen you too often, but what up, David Villa? Good stuff for coming through. Yee. He says, what up, faithfuls and fellow fellas? My bad. Great win. Let's go, Niners. Let's get it. Let's go. Hey, let's just keep this thing
man.
rolling.
Hell
Now,
yeah.
you could chime in on it. Yep. All right, we got Christina Hernandez. I don't know if I've ever seen you before either, but good stuff for coming through. Maybe you're part of my man Wolfcast crew, but good stuff for coming through. Hope all is well with you. I appreciate you. We got Don Dawson in the house. Good evening, Niner family. She is she's I think she came from Niner Beto's channel, but she's hecka cool, man. She got a couple of young ones. I believe I heard her say something about having
same thing as us, right?
About having a husband who's a Raider fan. I've been
never mind.
I've been trying to manifest that energy to help him come to the light and come to the what I used to say back in the day. Hey, I'd rather have my team working hard for gold than trying to steal silver. So try to use that one on them. Maybe, you know, Raiders, they were out there stealing silver. Hey man, we work hard for our gold, man, you know, so come to the light, come to the gold rush, my man.
Yeah, real quick, Don Dodson, kind of how we started talking was actually on Niner Sickness podcast. Go check out him too if you haven't already. Niner Sickness podcast. We were on there, and Don Dodson was saying that her daughter was ill. So kind of the same thing that's been going on with us, man. So we were sending out prayers, and that's kind of how we met.
Yeah.
So hope everything's going good, man. Because
she got the flu or something, or
I think it was a earache and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Hey, it's going around tough. Like, you know, state to state, man. Hey, it's winter time. Hey, man, I've been trying to really get inside my kids' ears, just say, "Hey, wash your hands. Hey, man, you touch something, you touch your mouth, you touch your nose, you touch your eyes, and that's instant access. So, try, hey, keep the hands clean, keep the face clean, stay warm for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Prayers, Dom, for sure. I know it's rough, man, when the little ones go down.
Hey,
What up?
do you have that buzzer like the me 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 me? Because actually, um, talking back to the Raiders thing, right? I got like on my dad's side of the family, we got some Raider fans. Unfortunately, my sisters, poor girls. So I always, try to convert them. And like one thing was like when they saw, we had a 49ers watch party in Kings County with them. If anybody's in the 559, go check out Kings County and let them know you know me. They're really cool. They have fun watch parties. They give away a lot of prizes and stuff like every time, man. It's pretty badass. But one of my sisters, that's a Raiders fan, she showed up and she saw Garoppolo for the first time. She's like, "Who's that?" She's like, I'm a Niner fan now." But
Ah,
no,
that's
she was
good.
joking. She's still on some bullshit. But dude, Eric Crocker, I know his lady was a Raiders fan her whole life, and just recently she converted. So,
Bro,
uh,
hey, man, I just hit up Eric Crocker about that. Bro, hold on. I got the share way, bro. There it is. There it is. That's funny
yeah,
you bring that up, bro, because me and you have never talked before coming on live today. So it's funny you bring that up because I hit up Eric Crocker because I was so proud. I was like, bro, when me and my wife got together, she was a Raider fan.
uh,
It took like, I'm trying to think how many years it took. I think it took like a good 5 years. And she wasn't a full blown
dang,
fan. It was exactly like Eric Crocker. She wasn't a full blown fan. She just, that
casual.
was her team. She didn't really care a whole lot about football, but I would always
Yeah,
I was persistent on it. Like, hey, you ready to come to the light? You ready to come to the right side? Just,
yeah,
I would kind of, just, it took a while, but I stayed persistent. And now she wears all my Niners stuff, she
yeah.
anything you see, I mean, she hooked me up with the dang mic, you know what I'm saying? She'll be in the chat and
Dang.
she'll watch the game. She'll she went to her first game last year versus the Texans, the Trey Lance game. Had
Okay.
beautiful seats. She actually hooked it up for Christmas. She got the tickets. We went to the game. And bro, yeah, she's a faithful and still don't even know it. She was out there. Man, we were both out there candlestick status, man. It's like it was her first football game and she already had the candlestick pedigree. We were louder than anybody. Yeah, we don't play when it comes to something we're rooting for or cheering for. We do not uh we don't stray away from it at all, man. We go full throttle typically, but yeah, man. So that's awesome when you see people convert to being a 49er fan, man, so yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool, man. We
100%.
got we got I don't want to mess can I say Ed? Is that one of your boys? I don't want to mess
Edgar
the name up.
Ascoli, yeah. Edgar Ascoli.
Hey, what up, my man? Good stuff for coming through. Um, hey, man, if you like what you see and all that good stuff, man, hit that sub button, my man. We got
Yeah.
49ers Ultimate Report. We got John Jay in the house. Yee! He says, congrats to Wolfcast on the 200. And he says, sup, Keltz. We got Don Dawson, Brian. Yeah, I'll get back. Hey, if y'all got some questions, actually, I see a couple by Brian Cole or Bryant. If Armstead doesn't come back, should we draft or look at free agency to replace him? If he doesn't, oh yeah, absolutely. If he
Yeah,
doesn't come back,
that's most likely what the draft capital is going to go towards in the draft. That and O line should be some of the biggest looking points I think for this upcoming draft.
yeah, yeah. It seems like we're pretty much, hey, maybe even continue. It depends on what they feel about the secondary, but I'm sure we'll continue to go there as well. But
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, we absolutely have to. I feel like if Armstead's not going to be there.
yeah, we have a lot of trouble with keeping outside corner man. So definitely that's another one I want to bring in too is continue to bring in fresh young outside corners that you can groom like you did with Emmanuel Mosley and
Yep. Yep.
Diamador Lenore as well. What he's looking like
Exactly.
in Womack too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Happy Thanksgiving to all my Niner family. Hey,
Corey
continuous
Davis.
prayers to UKD. Hopefully all is well. Just health wise, like without a
Hell
doubt,
yeah.
you're continuously, I'm pretty sure in all of our thoughts. And
OG
yeah,
man.
my man. Don Dotson, I've seen on Niner Beto pages for a few years. I have been okay. Yes, she had a massive ear infection, but she is 100%. Ah, that's what's up. There we go. There we
Right
go.
on. I'm
Man,
saying
I
it's going is go sorry, because me and Rich were talking about it before the stream, and my daughter had exactly the same thing, and Rich's kids have been dealing with some of the similar kind of stuff too.
yeah.
So yeah, man, it's definitely going around. Glad to see that she's better, man. My daughter's better now too, so I'm happy to see that because she was in some really bad pain. She was screaming all night, but she didn't want to take her medicine.
Yeah. Sometimes they are stubborn, it's always hard, but, yeah,
Yeah.
I always forget this, but man, I need to go get some work done, but I actually got a hole in one of my eardrums, bro.
Jeez.
It's been there for a long time, bro. It's like no pain. I used to Man, just whenever I do anything, I do it to the fullest, and when I go swimming, I go off, high rocks, I just, like, go full throttle with stuff, and so I blew one of my
Yeah.
ear I've blown one of my eardrums out even when I was a kid enough times to where, yeah,
Jeez.
I probably gotta get surgery, and so I kinda have gotten used to it, but my equilibrium is always lightweight off. They would have to do some form of surgery or something, but, that kinda reminded me that, I need to make sure to take care of myself. I'm just
That's
Yeah, it's
that,
off the hook, bro.
that's crazy.
Yeah, just
Dang.
don't dive too hard if you go in water, man, because I would go straight up and straight down, bro. Like, I would try to dive as hard
Oh
as I
no.
could, as fast as I it just doing
Cliff
too
jumping
doing too much, man, doing too much, but, hey, man, everything is good so
this
far,
comment. I just want to go back to this one real quick.
Yeah, where's it at? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. No, that one right there, the one that I put on screen. Yes,
Okay.
he's a Trader fan, but I'm working on it. It's
You
funny. It's like therapy. You're putting somebody through like a, what do you call it? An intervention.
Yeah,
It's like
absolutely.
grass is
Alright, where
greener
we
on this
at?
side.
We got, Bryant Cope with another question. Very happy Wolf, you are going to get, big. Rich, you are a real one. Thank you for, coming through. Absolutely, man. There was a good long stretch there where I wasn't, thank you for the kind words. I'm sure Wolf appreciates that too. There was a good long period there. I was kind of a rookie. I still feel like I am a rookie in this game. There's always, um, still trying to get consistent and whatnot. But there was a good period there where sometimes it's hard to collaborate, man. Sometimes whether it's schedules or just, there was a good minute there where I was like, hey, man, maybe I should just hop on when I don't know. I'm always down to do it if anyone asks, you know what I'm saying? I know I get super deep on when people comment and whatnot, but I appreciate you, Brian. Hey man, I stay ready, man. I stay ready. And it's hey, we're all a family, man. This is all the faithful family right here. So
Hell
I'm
yeah.
always ready. Hey, actually, Wolf put it together, man. Wolf's the one who reached out to me, man. He put it together and we kind of came together and made it happen on both spur of the moment, which is dope. I love the freestyle, so I thought it was hella cool.
Yeah,
Where are
bro.
we at? We got David Villa. If you want to chime in on that, bro.
Oh, I just want to give a big thank you to Brian. I always say it, man. He's been one of the guys in my corner that helped push me. Him and my lady were two of the biggest factors why I'm still here on YouTube, man. When I had nobody watching, so I really
That's
appreciate
dope.
him, and I appreciate you coming on today, bro. Because I do know that I was gonna just stream by myself, but I was like, you know what, man? Why don't I try and get a co-host, man? Screw it.
Hey,
And then I hit you up, and it's out of the kindness that out of your heart that you came on. You didn't have to do that, so I do really appreciate it, man.
hey, it feels like we're similar in that kind of a way. So hey, maybe we got something brewing.
Hell yeah.
Um, We got David Villa coming through saying, "Stay safe, everyone. We all have to stay healthy and alive to see our Niners win the bowl." Hey,
Yup,
real time.
100.
Absolutely, absolutely. I see some laugh out louds in here for that one too.
Hey,
We got
just
speaking
ask.
of speaking of my number one supporter, we got my wife, Lauren Keltz, man. Hey, just like you were saying about your wife, she's always encouraging me. I mean, she hooked me up with the mic. I used to
Yeah.
just do it all from my phone. She hooked me up with the laptop. I was super just not technology wise, bro. Like I was not good. I have to ask her, hey, how do you copy and paste? And she hey, she's my number one supporter. My obviously my wife, my friend, my best friend, just everything. She's like my manager, you know what I'm saying? I go to her
Yeah.
with anything, man, and she'll spit it to me raw, rough, rugged, and raw, man. That's how we keep it.
Yup.
No pauses on that one. We got Brian Colt. Uh, Eric Crocker is cool. 209 shout out. Oh yeah, that's out there in Stockton, huh? That's up.
Yep.
That's up over. Is that Stockton? Yeah, I think so.
Yup. They're
Try
neighbors.
snitching. Try snitching on your own wife. What? What are you talking about?
About
The
the
support.
Raiders fan.
Yeah, that's right, babe. That's right. Yeah, I don't even got no comeback on that
No,
one. I love you.
you're gonna get kudos. I mean, Lauren, you're getting kudos right now. Everybody's here now. We're happy you came to the brighter side of life. So
Yeah, hey, make sure, babe. Make sure to go hit up. And my wife did say she heard me listening to you a couple days ago. She was like, she never heard you before, but she was like, "Oh man, I love that accent. I love that kind of." I was like, "Hey man, we got every flavor in the game, man. It's like it's dope. I love it though, bro. We got the
that's
Wolf
what's up.
Cast. Like let's go, man. It's like,
Oh yeah, that's what's up,
hey,
man.
we got the biggest freaking community, so it's just cool, man.
Hey, you know what? Real quick on that because we're there's somebody was talking about it how there's the bias towards the 49ers. You said it earlier too, the East Coast bias.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like they want to talk about the Cowboys as America's team. I said, dude, that's cool and all, but the 49ers are the universe's team.
Hey, let's
It,
go.
it, it is what it is.
Hey man, I didn't realize it. Like, I already said, just coming on to the technology social world scene, just recently. It's been about 2 years, but inconsistently for 2 years, but this is the longest I've went consistently. So, I'm learning a lot. But I put up
Yeah,
a post. I started on just Facebook groups, kind of like Don, just hitting up Facebook groups. I was like, man, this is dope right here. So I put up a post. Hey, where's everybody from? Oh, bro, it's in Germany, Australia, England, Austria,
I'm telling
the
you.
the Philippines, of course, Hawaii, just like everywhere, bro, everywhere throughout the states, bro. I couldn't believe it, bro, because I'm from the Bay Area, born and raised. So I'm kind of like, I always
Hell
thought
yeah.
it was a Bay thing. I always thought,
Right?
okay, you're either a Raider or a Niner. And at the most, I was like, it's probably a California thing, maybe a little Oregon. But then, I mean, it just opened up a whole new flipping world for me, bro, to where I was just like, man, this is like, why didn't I expect this? We're one of the best teams. We got 5 Super Bowls, but just, you sometimes you get confined in that box, and it's just it's kind of dope when you get to see that there's a whole lot more, especially the way
Yeah,
the faithful ride, bro. It's amazing week to week to week. Yeah, if you
yeah.
see any of the other comments, they start loading us up. Oh, we got
Right. That's what I'm telling you. The four flames, bro, and like come up with something for Keltz Chronicles. Like
hey,
right
I
there, it says
should too.
Brian Colt. He says only asking because I'm not confident in Armstead's feet, and that's a great point, man. I'm not either. I just, it's a wait and see thing, and that's why I was super surprised the 49ers didn't go and get Ndamukong Suh. How are you going to get a contender like the Eagles, who's in your conference, go and get Ndamukong Suh when you have a problem with Kinlaw and Armstead, where neither of them is going to be reliable, regardless of whether they come back soon or not? How much can you wish on a prayer with that? I don't get it.
Yeah, the NFL is changing, man. The NFL is changing, so it feels
Don't
like
go changing.
it, hey, it feels it feels like the NFL, with defensive tackles, man, it's just becoming less of a factor, but of course you need it. One thing I
Yeah,
will say about our defensive tackles, man, We still haven't given up a 100-yard rusher, right? Like we still haven't. Hey, man, man, let's give some props to Ridgeway. Let's give some props to
Yeah,
Givens, Ridgeway,
yeah.
Givens, Jordan Willis come back. You know, I think he might be shifting all over the place. You know, if I'm I'm trying to think like who am I leaving out? I know it's those three for sure.
To add to your point, like um Eckler's no slouch, man. Obviously, he is who he is.
Yeah,
He's great. He's a huge weapon for the Chargers. They shut him down, bro. There's James Conner is no slouch as well. He was a starting running back for a reason, bro. So they're shutting down really good guys, man. So yeah, man. Kudos to all those guys that are adding to the rotation and just being super solid for us. Hopefully, we can keep most of them through this next season.
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. Hey, we see some of your guys' stuff in here. I see y'all chopping it up. We see the
I
prayer hands. We see the Hola from Mexico.
I see a
Niner
Rams fan
sickness.
in here now.
Oh, hey, that's hey, where they at, man? Hey, I love it. I love it. I love it. Is hey, if you're respectful, it's all
Even
good.
though he says
If not,
he's
we're gonna have fun.
yeah,
uh,
yeah. I see nothing but good comments from him so far. He
we
says
got
Viva los Rams. Hey man, you gotta show love to your team. So I respect it. As long as it's chill towards the Niners, and at least neutral, I ain't gonna care, bro. But yeah, shout out your team if you want
absolutely.
to. That's a good way to do it.
Absolutely. Hey, y'all.
Um,
Y'all are the defending champs. Who Hey, props to y'all for that. Y'all pulled it off last year, but at the same time, coming from a rival, you already know, man. The meltdown from our eyes is beautiful. I'm pretty sure if you seen us win the Super Bowl and you seen us melt down the next year, you would be, you know,
jumping on it,
it would be
jump.
a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
You'd love it. Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to see. We got no
Real,
border sports in the house. You can
hell
hit it
yeah.
up. What's that?
No, I was just gonna say, guys, because there's so many comments coming through, we fall behind. This is exactly the reason why I did the four flames. So anybody who's new here who doesn't know, just for at least this stream, please throw four flames in your comment or question so we know it's for us and not just the kind of back and forth you guys have in the
Yeah, yeah.
comments. Would
Hey,
appreciate it. Just so we
hey,
can get to
you
them.
know what? I'm gonna take a page out your book when the chat is going crazy. And for me, if you got one, just put a capital Ye. Just put a capital
Hey, there you go.
YEE. You know what I'm saying?
With
It's the one thing that I do say and do is yee. You know, it's always been there since high school.
yeah,
YouTube brought it back out of me, you know, for whatever reason. One day I got juiced up and said, "Hey, faithful, rise up, yee, let's get it," and it stuck. So, yeah, put that capital YEE in there
I
with the
like the one.
flames.
I like the one. There was this this vine of Lion King. It's like when they're holding up Simba the first time in the beginning of the movie. And it's like Subenya. And it's like yeet. He throws them into the
Yeah.
crowd of animals.
Hey, that's yee. Hey,
That's what it reminded me of real quick.
Rafiki was dope, man. Rafiki,
Yeah,
hey, you either learn from it or what do you
yeah,
say? You either run from it or you learn from it. It's gonna hurt. Hey, it's gonna hurt
yeah. The,
regardless.
the past does hurt.
The
Yeah,
pass does hurt. Hey, you know, hey, it's kind of like catching a football, man. I tell my son the same thing. Hey, it's gonna hurt, bro. If I throw a fastball, it's gonna hurt. So you might as well catch the dang thing. But yeah, man, the Lion King vibes, man. Love it,
yeah.
love it, love it.
Real quick,
Ah,
man.
Sabina.
Oh, we got a comment right there. We got a comment right there for you. But in the
What's that?
meantime, man, CMC and Mitchell, man, they're showing up to be a great 1-2 punch. I love what I'm seeing, like you're talking about, kind of Kyle Shanahan acclimating to the elevation that we had in Mexico City, where you really didn't see CMC in the second half really at all. It was the Elijah Mitchell show. CMC in the first half, it was the CMC show. Second half was the Elijah Mitchell show, and just that they can work together like that. And I feel like just really this offense, if you look at it, all the weapons, man, is so versatile, and it's like pick your poison, man. No matter who we stack up against, I like our odds because we can attack you in so many different ways. We can pound the rock, we can hit you out of the backfield with screens, we can hit you with check downs, of course. We can Garoppolo starting to throw deep, man, and I do want to give him kudos on that because he did take a nice deep shot to Jennings, just missed it. Jennings tripped up, but that was almost a really nice pass. At least we're taking the deep shots. Go ahead. Sorry.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I know some people are like, "Oh man, see, we need OBJ." Um,
No.
a few weeks back, I was kind of like, hey, let's go, bring all the talent we could bring.
Yeah.
And now I've kind of shifted. Hey, man, let's not mess up a good thing. It feels like we're on a roll. Let's keep feeding the guys that we got. It already seems hard to feed the guys that we got. Hey, let's just and then on top of it, I don't want to see. I don't want to. I mean, man, he was a Ram last year and won a Super Bowl with the Rams. And I
Yeah.
know some fans are like, "Ah, take your feelings out of it." But I mean, this man was over there hugging Debo while he's. I don't want to be reminded of none of that. Where he's hugging Debo on the sideline, like. I didn't even think about that part. I'm more thinking, hey, how could we get this team better? But Jawan Jennings is a dog. You know what I'm saying? And keeps them.
Yeah.
I remember, hey, for us to get into the playoffs last year, didn't he catch that game-winning touchdown? I'm pretty sure it was it Jennings to get into the playoffs on versus the Rams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
I think it was either the one to get into overtime or the one to win the game, or it might have been
He was a
both
big
actually.
part. He was a
Yeah,
big part.
definitely, man.
You
He's
know
a
what I'm
huge
saying?
part of that stuff, man. He's super clutch. That's why, like, everybody during training camp was like, "Oh, dude, Jennings is looking rough, man. He's getting beat left and right." And I was like, "That dude's a gamer, man. I have confidence he's going to show up when it's game time." And sure enough, he's still dropping passes in practice and stuff like that. But when it's game time, bro, he's focused, man. He's locked in. Um, just getting back to the OBJ thing real quick. I was kind of on if the 49ers can make it happen for the right price, I'm down for it. Reason being partially because I don't want to see him go anywhere else. And especially in the NFC. But okay, and I really hate to even say this, but if anything were to happen to Ayuk, man, we haven't really seen guys like Ray McLeod step up. He's done a little bit, shown a little bit of promise, but they haven't stepped up as a game changer like Ayuk has, man. He's been that guy for us. So if anything were to happen to Ayuk, or just to kind of take some stuff off his shoulders and kind of help Debo get open too, I would like to see OBJ take a backloaded contract and be here for if Trey Lance takes over the team next year as well. So I'm looking more into the future as well.
Absolutely, absolutely, my man. It's always it's it's not easy running a whole entire organization, especially football.
Yeah,
It's just the most amount of people, the most amount of plays, or wait, maybe not plays, but just the strategy of just play to play, season to season, contract to contract. It's there's a ton that goes into it, and sometimes us sitting from the outside, well, why don't we go do that? It's like, hey, man,
yeah,
it's I do it too. Hey, I'm not perfect. Hey, I gotta reflect and correct myself all the time and give it up to something that's greater than me to in hopes to, just be the best version of myself. But I do want to say, what's up, 49er Jeff? What's going on, fellas? Yee, good stuff for coming through. And we see all you guys putting in where you guys are from. We see the Idahos and the Kentuckys and the Hawaii, the 808. My in-laws, most of my in-laws are natives in Hawaii, so every time I see the 808, I appreciate that.
yeah.
We see all you guys though. So make sure I didn't leave. Oh, we got the yees in the house. The yee, let's get it. Let's
There's a lot
go.
of yees now, bro. I'm telling you.
Bringing it back, man. I almost had to remember. I was like, what was it back in the day? Oh, it wasn't just yee. It was yee yee. Or sometimes it was I threw a
Yee
ski
yee.
in, or yep, just a little ski yee. Yeah. Look
Uh,
cuckoo. The bird calls. The
uh, oh no.
ah, yeah, man. When we were doing bad things in high school, the campus security was all over us. We had to have a bird call for sure.
Yeah.
Um, we got the rise up. We got the yees. Any other questions? Hey, I think we're gonna be shutting it down, man. It's up to you.
Yep.
I got
Yep.
some
It's about
food
that
to
time.
eat. Yeah, I got
Yep.
some food to eat. I got some chores to get to.
Some kids to spend time with.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
everybody, I'm not sure the next time I will go on. Well, as a matter of fact, today's Tuesday. Tomorrow night we're going to be on Last Man Standing
Yeah.
on
Hell
Niner
yeah.
Sickness podcast. You guys can see it right here. Niner Sickness podcast. So if anybody's not subscribed to him, go check his channel out. Go show some love. Go support Niner Beto. He's
What
a
time?
cool dude, a humble dude, and a funny dude at the same time. He says, "Love the vibe in the pod tonight. Both you compliment each other very well. We appreciate that. I'll speak for my man at the same time. Tomorrow it's at 7:00. I'm pretty sure 7:00. It's going to be me, Niner Sickness, Peter from God, what is it? Not Forever Faithful, but Brandon from Forever Faithful. We got Peter from Niner Fanatic, and I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm thinking if I missed anybody. Yeah, for right now, that's it. Chris Polo was on there for a minute. I'm not sure if he's going to be coming through or not, but hopefully he is. Yeah, so
What time?
check us out tomorrow at 7 Pacific Standard Time. It's Last Man Standing. We do NFL picks. So, and the thing that's cool about doing all the NFL picks, it's like you get to know your opponent. You get to know what's going on in the NFL. It forces you into kind of, checking out what other teams are doing. And
Man,
it switches it up a little bit to where you're not just fixated on the 49ers. Because we got to remember sometimes we got to give credit, kind of like the Charger game. I feel like they deserved a lot of credit for the way they punched us in the mouth early. They just had a good scheme. They went fast. They knew that we had a bye week, so they're like, "Hey, we're gonna come up tempo straight out the gate." It's not, but it's easy to be like, "Oh my God, our defense sucked right there." It's like, hold on, they do got a good quarterback. They did have some good coaching. Sometimes the other team deserves credit. That everybody's trying their hearts out. So yeah, check us out tomorrow night, Niner Sickness Podcast.
yeah.
If you got anything going on, man, we would love to hear it. Oh, dang. That's what's up, man. I Now my daughter just threw it on the TV. I don't think I've ever seen the show on the TV before. I look up and I see us over there. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, I'm seeing some boats in here. They want to see us again as a dynamic duo. So whatever we can work out for you guys, we're gonna try and figure it out as soon as possible. But for me, probably do a show tomorrow. We'll just have to see. Maybe get my boy Brian Cope on a live stream, but we're gonna wait and see. I don't have anything set in stone for the schedule yet, but yeah, go check out Last Man Standing tomorrow, guys, at 7 p.m. Pacific. If nothing else, let it help you pick your parlays.
Yeah,
Let them
exactly.
convince you who you should pick on your bets, man. So get some wise words from them, and yeah, man, have a good time with them because they're all really cool guys. I've been there on that show, checking them out, watching them live. So it's really cool and chill, man. I love the vibe they got going on. Like I said, blame them if you don't win your bets, your parlays. Not just kidding. But yeah, guys, go check them out, man. Again, Keltz Chronicles, Rich Keltz, I really appreciate you, bro. Everybody who's in here watching and supporting us, we appreciate your time and you guys spending your time with us, man. Really great, man. If you got any closing thoughts, Rich, I'll let you go, bro.
Yeah, hey, let's just for me, I just want to try to just represent this thing the best way I can, man. Especially when things are positive. Be positive. When someone's screwing up, don't be afraid to say, "Hey, man, hey, do better." But at the same time, we don't gotta ragdoll the person. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to do unnecessary stuff and talk unnecessarily
Yeah,
to each other, fan to fan. Sometimes that trips me out. Like, man,
yeah,
we're rooting for the same team, and I see grown men on Twitter going to war, and I'm kind of like, all right, man, each person's their own. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, God, why? Hey, my friend used to say, "Hey, the world isn't sweet. That's why I eat candy." So, sometimes it's
yeah,
just hey, man, we can't we could, but we do have the ability to be a reflection of kindness. You know what I'm saying? Just being cool, just being good people. That's how I like to see the faithful represented. I take it to heart. So it would be lovely to see everybody, just take pride in it, and hey, hopefully we go on a beautiful run and win a damn Super Bowl, man. Those are my final thoughts.
Yeah, guys, happy holidays to everyone. And if we don't see you again, just be safe, safe travels. Much love to everybody. My Niner gang, like Rich is saying, more positivity. If you ain't got nothing good to say, sometimes it's better to not say anything at all. And you'll learn
Absolutely.
that, especially as you get older. I know I have. So just want to show some more love to some of the people in here before we go. David Villa, one love, amigos. Love it, man. Appreciate you very much. Frank Frank at high. Happy Thanksgiving, Niner Nation. Stay safe. Yep.
Aloha.
Everybody travel safe, man.
Oh wait, what's that joke? Do you know why? No, I can't. I gotta ask my wife. I
The
gotta ask
Hawaii
my.
Kiki. What is it though?
It has to do with
Hawaii Kiki
aloha.
sneaky between the cheeky.
And what's the joke where it's like, why do Hawaiians laugh? It has something to do with the laugh. It's because they have aloha, but it's I got man, I screwed it up. I'll remember it and tell y'all. But anyways,
Brian said he's married to a redheaded Hawaiian, so he'd probably know. Let us know, Brian, before we tap out. But Niner Sickness Podcast asked me, Wolfgang, if you want to come on tomorrow as a guest, let me know, brother. Yeah, man, I'm down. Let's do it. I'm down for it. We'll talk about it in probably in the messages. Great show, gentlemen. Rafael 5629er. Appreciate you as always, man. Really a MVP on this channel, man. I really love it, dude. So thank you very much. It doesn't go unnoticed. All you guys, man. Let's see if Brian threw that in the chat.
who that?
We got David McNew back in here. Let's make the ain't say who that.
Who that? Who that? Who
The
that?
ain'ts. Yeah, the
Ain't.
ain'ts. The New Orleans ain'ts. Yeah, man. Let's whoop that ass this week. Let's have a great week. 49ers, bask in your
What's up?
glory. And then let's get to business, man. Um, what is it? One game at a time, one season. I forgot how to say it. It's like each week is a season for the
Yeah, just
49ers at
hey,
this
hey,
point.
hey, hey, just one game at a time, man. One game at a time. But
Yeah.
man, the Red Rocket's gonna be like a red water gun, by the time we get through with him. He's gonna be I
I
can't
can't
even
think.
come up with I gotta think of something good for the Red Rocket, but pew pew, he ain't gonna be sending no rockets off
I can't
with
think
our
about
D line.
red rockets, man, because whenever people bring that up, they're always talking about like a dog's wiener.
Man, this man, hey, just
Inappropriate.
ah, hey, I gotta get to this, man.
Oh,
Hey, because if no one won't do it, we'll do it, man. That man McGlitchy balled out, man. I didn't see not. I think we did a little bit. I didn't see not one 360. I didn't see him lunging to nobody to the opposite side, looking behind like what just happened. McGlitchy was freaking awesome. Keep it up, Mike. Hey, but one thing I do want to give flowers to McGlitchy for too. Good stuff for coming through Sacktown Izzy. Is it's probably not hard or it's probably not easy to get your whole muscle ripped off your bone
yeah,
and come back the next year because there was worries in the beginning of the year. Is he going to be able to play? Hey, man, I think he's played every game. Am I did I kind of forget one or something? But hey, he's been in there. He's been
yeah,
one of our main consistent dudes, whether he
yeah,
got low lights or highlights. Props to McGlitchy, man, especially for this week. Real talk.
yeah, man. That's true because best ability is availability,
There it
and
is.
yeah, man.
That's
So,
that's half
like
of
I
it for
said,
sure.
it was a team win, so everybody gets kudos in this one, man. We're just gonna have to see it consistently with McGlinchey, man. So ramp
Hey,
it up, bro. You had the bye week to get a little healthier and get rid of some of them bruises. So let's get it going, man. But Rich, again, I thank you. Everybody have a great night, man. We love you guys and take care. Safe travels. Happy holidays.